Hello, Mark. I'm Betty Tintelling, freshman major in English. My school number is S0641030. The title of the speech is Life is the Deep Oceans. The name of the speaker is David Gallo. Applause. David Gallo. This is Bill Lange. I'm David Gallo and we are going to tell you some stories from the sea here in video. We've got some of the most incredible video of Titanic that's ever been seen, and we're not going to show you any of it. Laughter. The truth of the matter is that Titanic, even though it's breaking all sorts of box office records, it's not the most exciting story from the sea. And the problem, I think, is that we take the ocean for granted. When you think about it, the oceans are 75% of the planet. Most of the planet is ocean water. The average depth is about 2 miles. Part of the problem, I think, is we stand at the beach or we see images like this of the ocean, and you look out at this great big blue expanse. And it's shimmering and it's moving and there's waves and there's surf and there's tides. But you have no ideas for what lies in there. And in the ocean, there are the longest mountain range on the planet. Most of the animals are in the oceans. Most of the earthquakes and volcanoes are in the sea, at the bottom of the sea. The biodiversity and the biodensity in the ocean is higher in place than it is in the rainforest. It's mostly unexplored. And yet there are beautiful sights like this that captivate us and make us become familiar with it. But when we are standing at the beach, I want you to think that we are standing at the edge of a very unfamiliar world. We have to have a very special technology to get into that unfamiliar world. We use the submarine, Elvin, and we use cameras. And the cameras are something that Bill Lange has developed with the help of Sony. Martin Brosset, the true voyage of discovery is not so much in seeking new landscapes as in having new eyes. People that have partnered with us have given us new eyes not only on what exists, the new landscape at the bottom of the sea, but also how we think about life on the planet itself. Here's a jelly. It's one of my favorites because it's got all sorts of working parts. This turned out to be the longest creature in the oceans. It gained up to about 150 feet long, but see all those different working things. I love that kind of stuff. It's got these fishers on the bottom. They are going up and down. It's got tentacles that is very around like that. It's a colonial animals. These are all individual animals banding together to make this one creature. And it's got this jet stretches out of in front of that L you use in a moment. And a little light. If you take all the big fish and schooling fish and all that, put it on one side of the skull. Put all the jelly type of animals on the other side. Those got wings hands down. Most of the buoyancy in the ocean is made of creation like this. Here's the X-wing death jelly laughter. The bioluminescence. They use the light for attracting mate and attracting prey and communicating. We couldn't begin to show you our trivial stuff from the jellies. They come in all different sizes and shapes. Village. We tend to forget about the fact that the ocean is miles deep on average, and then we're real familiar with the animals that are in the first 200 or 300 feet, but we're not familiar with what exists from there all the way down to the bottom. And these are the type of animals that live in that three-dimensional space, that microgravity environment that we really haven't explored. You hear about giant and squid and things like that, but some of these animals get up to be approximately 140-160 feet long. They are very little understood. Did you? This is one of that, another one of our favorite because it's a little octopus. You can actually see through his head, and here he is flapping with his ears and very gracefully going up. We see lows at all depth and even at a greatest depth. They go from a couple of inches to a couple of feet. They come right up to the submarine. They put their eyes right up to the window and peek inside the soup. This is really a word within a word that we are going to show you too. In this case, we're passing down through the mind ocean and we see creature like this. This is kind of like an undersea rooster. This guy that looks incredibly formal in a way, and then one of my favorites. What a face is basically scientific data that you're looking at. It's a footage that we collected for scientific purpose. And that's one of the things that Bill been doing is providing scientists with the first view of animals like this. In a world where they belong, they don't catch them in a net. They're actually looking at them down in that world. We are going to take a joystick, set it in front of our computer on the Earth, and press the joystick forward and fly around the planet. We are going to look at the Mount Ocean Ridge, a 40,000 mile long mountain range. The average depth at the top of it is about 1.5 miles, and we're over the Atlantic. That's a ridge right here, but we're going to go across the Caribbean, Central America, and end up against the Pacific. 9 degrees now, we make back at this mountain range with sound, with sonar. And this is one of those mountain ranges. We're coming around a cliff here on the right. The height of these mountains on either side of this valley is greater than the Alps in most cases, and there's tens of thousands of those mountains out there that haven't been mapped yet. This is volcanic ridge. We're getting down further and further in scope, and eventually we can come up with something like this. This is an icon of our robot. Jason is code, and you can see it in a room like this, with a joystick and a headset. And drive a robot like that around the bottom of the ocean in real time. One of the things we're trying to do at Woods Hole with our partner is to bring this virtual world, this unexplored region, back to the laboratory because we see it in bits and pieces right now. We see it either as sound, or we see it as video, or we see it as photographs, or we see it as chemical signals. But we never have yet put it all together into one interesting picture. Here's where Bill's cameras really do shine. This is what's called a hydrothermal vent, and what you are seeing here is a cloud of densely packed hydrogen sulfide-rich water coming out of a volcanic axis on the seafloor, get up to 600, 700 degrees F, somewhere in that range. So that's all water under the sea, 1.5 miles, 2 miles, 3 miles down, and we knew that it's volcanic back in the 60s, 70s. And then we had some hint that these things exist all along the axis of it, because if you've got volcanism, water's going to get down from the sea into cracks in the seafloor, come in contact with magma, and come shooting out hot. We were rather aware that it would be so rich with sulfides, hydrogen sulfide. We didn't have any idea about these things, which we call chimneys. This is one of these hydrothermal vents. 600 degrees F water coming out of the earth. On either side of us are mountain ranges that are higher than the Alps, so the setting here is very dramatic. BL. The white material is a type of bacteria that freezes at 100 degrees C. DG. I think that's one of the greatest stories right now that we're seeing from the bottom of the sea. Is that the first thing we see coming out of the seafloor? After a volcanic eruption is bacteria. And we started to wonder for a long time. How did it all get down there? What we find out now is that it's probably coming out from inside the earth. Not only is it coming out of the earth. So, biogen is made from volcanic activity. But let bacteria support these colonies of life. The pressure here is 4,000 pounds per square inch. A mile and a half from the surface to 2 miles to 3 miles. No sun has ever gotten down here. All the energy to support these life forms is coming from inside the earth. So, chemosynthesis, and you can see how dense the population is. These are called worms. BL. These worms have no digestive system. They have no mouth, but they have two types of gill structures. One for extracting oxygen out of the deep sea water. Another one which houses these chemosynthetic bacteria, which take the hydrothermal fluid, that hot water that you saw coming out of the bottom, and convert that into simple sugars that the tumor can digest. DG, you can see here's the crab that lives down here. He's managed to grab a tip of this worm. Now the normally reach as soon as a crab touch him. Oh, good thing. So as soon as a crab touched them, they retreat down into the shells, just like your fingernails. There's a whole story being played out here that we're just now beginning to have some idea of because of this new camera technology. BL, this worm lives in a real temperature extreme. Their food is at about 200 degrees C. And the hair is out of 3 degrees C. So it's like having your head in boiling water and your feet in freezing water. That's how they like to live. Laughter. That is a female of kind of worm. And here's a smile. You watch it. Doesn't take long before you guys hear. This one and one that will show up over here. Start to find everything you see is played out in a pitch black, the pitch black of the deep sea. There are never any lights there except the light that we breathe. Here we go. One of the last dive series, we counted 200 species in these areas. 198 were new species. BL. One of the big problems is that for biologists working at this site, it's really difficult to collect these animals, and they disintegrate on the way up, so the imagery is critical for the science. DG. 2 octopus at about 2 months depth. This pressure thing really amazed me, that these animals can exist there at a depth with pressure enough to crush the Titanic like an empty PC can. What we saw it till now was from the Pacific. This is from Atlantic. If you grab the path, you can see the ocean is harassing this poor little guy here. And he'll be it's away with this cloud. What laughter. And the same thing is going on over here. What they are getting at is that on the back of this crab, the food substance here is very strange bacteria that lives on the back of all these animals. And what these shrimp are trying to do is actually harvest the bacteria from the backs of these animals. And the crabs don't like it at all. These filaments that you see on the back of the crab are actually created by product of that bacteria. So the bacteria goes here on the crab. On the back, you see this again. The red dot is the lesson line of the submarine, helping to give us an idea about how far away we are from the vents. Those are all shrimps. You see the hot water over here, here and here, coming out. Leah's clinging to rock face and actually scraping material off that rock face. Here's a tiny little vent. Let's come out of the side of that pillar. Those pillars get up to several stories. So here, you've got this valley with this incredible area. Let's get off pillars and hot springs and volcanic eruption and earthquake inhabited by these very strange animals that live only on chemical energy coming out of the ground. They don't need the sun at all. BL. You see this white V-shaped mark on the back of this ship? It's actually a sensing organ. It's how they find the hydrothermal vent. The vents are emitting a black body reaction and IR signature, and so they are able to find these vents at considerable distance. All this stuff is happening along that 40,000 mile long mountain range that we're calling the River of Life, because just even today, as we speak, there's light being generated from the volcanic activity. This is the first time we have never tried this anyplace. We're going to try to show you high definition from the Pacific. We're moving up one of these pillars. There's several stories too in it. You'll see that there's a habitat for a lot of different animals. There's a funny kind of hot plate here, with mad water coming out of it. So all of these are individual homes for worms. Now here's a closer view of the community. Here's a crabs here, worms here. There's a smaller animal crawling around. Here's pagoda scratches. I think this is the neatest looking thing. I just can't get over this. Then you have got this little chimney sitting here smoking away. This stuff is toxic as hell. By the way, you can never get a permit to dump this in the ocean, and it's coming out over it. Laughter. It's unbelievable. It's basically sulfuric acid, and it's being just dumped out at incredible rate. And animals are thriving, and we probably came from here. That's probably where we evolved from. This bacteria that we have been talking about turns out to be the most simplest form of life found. There are a number of groups that they are proposing that life evolved at least that site. Although the vent sites are short-lived, an individual site may last only 10 years or so. Those ecosystems have been stable for billions of years. It worked too well. You see, there's some fish inside here as well. There's a fish sitting here. Here's a crab with his claw right at the end of that tube worm, waiting for that worm to stick his head out. Laughter. BL. The biologists right now cannot explain why these animals are so active. The worms are growing inches per week. I already say that this side, from a human perspective, is toxic. It's toxic as hell. Not only that, but on top, lifeblood. That plummet system turns off every year or so. Their plummet system turns off, so the life have to move. And then there's earthquake and then volcanic eruption on the order of one every 5 years. That completely wipes the area out. Despite that, these animals grow back in about a year's time. You're talking about biodiversity and biodiversity again, higher than the rainforest that just springs back to life. Isn't it sensitive? Yes, it is fragile. Is it fragile? No, it's not really very fragile. I end up with saying one thing: the story in the sea, in the words of the sea, in the waters of the sea, in the sediment and the rocks of the seafloor. It's an incredible story that we see when we look back in time. In those sediment and rocks, it's a record of Earth's history. Everything on this planet, everything works by cycle and rhythm. The continents move apart, they come back together. Ocean come and go, mountains come and go, glaciers come and go. Email comes and go. It's not a disaster, it's rhythmic. Like we are learning now, it's almost like a symphony. It's just like music. It's really just like music. And what we're learning now is that you can't listen to a 5 billion year long symphony. Get it today and say stop. We want tomorrow not to be the same as it was today. It burst. It's just absurd. So what we have got to do now is to find out where this plan is going at all its different scales and work with it. Learn to manage it. The concept of preservation is fertile. Conservation's total, but we can probably get there. Thank you very much. Thank you. Applause.